Hello, vinyl community. It's Bill here again. And last time it was my 100th video, and it was entitled An Existential Crisis. I don't know if I was feeling a bit morose or, yeah, sort of taking stock or whatever, but yeah, I had an interesting response to that video and some very good words of wisdom in the comments. So check that out. So back with video 101, and based on some of the advice that was given, I'm going to entitle this one Crisis. What crisis? So let's see. Uh, it's a kind of, I'll wait for it, a kind of pre-purge video. So some of these would be featured on the divestment part of Q2 2024 acquisitions and divestments. So yeah, we're still not into June, so we're only halfway through the quarter, but yeah, there might, yeah, watch this space on the actual divestments. So I'm going to start with, and I hope you won't get worried, but I'm going to show you some long playing records, and I will reveal at the end what is actually happening with these. So some of these, yeah, will at the end of the video, will they still be in the count for this arbitrarily determined 1111? So yeah, watch this, or watch to the end if you want to know what's happening with these next few albums. So Rod Stewart's Blondes Have More Fun. Rod Stewart, Footloose and Fancy Free. That's the one with Hot Legs and You Keep Me Hanging On. I Was Only Joking, You're in My Heart. Great songs in there. So what's happening with that? Bill, what you thinking about? This is the modern world. I was lucky enough to see In the Jam, if you get a chance, from the Jam, you get a chance to see them, Rick Buckler and Bruce Foxton, with a replacement guy who's great instead of Paul Weller. So 2/3 of the band. So could they be called the Jam? When you think of the Who and some of these other outfits that are still treading the boards, claiming to be the original band. But yeah, the modern world. And what about Setting Suns, which has Eaton rifles on it? And then I've got Three Incredible String Band. And finally, for the show and tell, AC/DC's For Those About to Rock. Still in the protective sleeve, that looks a wee bit better. I'm not saying anything about Gunners or Manchester City. Could they be removed from the collection? Wait and see. One of these is definitely going. So there's the awards. So I think this is like the Brit Awards. When did they actually start? So around the time of the Brit Awards, there was usually a nice compilation album. This is the 1989 one, which features Aztec Camera, Fairground Attractions, Perfect, and Deacon Blues, Real Gone Kid. So Scottish connections there. And then we've got Michelle Shot Anchorage and Terence Trent D'Arby's Sign Your Name, One Moment in Time from Whitney Houston. So that one, or this one, which was from the year later, 1990, will be going. So this one's got Tears for Fears, Simply Red, Tina Turner, The Best, Nena Cherry's Buffalo Stance, and Cold Cut, featuring Lisa Stanfield with People Hold On and Black Boxes. Amazing Ride on Time. So one of these is going to be divested. And which one's going? 1990 is going. So I'm going to show some more long playing records which are going to leave the collection, but you're going to have to wait for those until after I've shown some CDs. And yeah, I'm going to take some of these along to a friendly record store in Aberdeen and maybe see if I can get some store credit for some of these CDs and albums. So yeah, first off, we have Della Mitri, another great Scottish band, and this is called The Collection. This one's really going because the sound quality, even if it's on a CD, is not that great. And yeah, I'm awaiting notification of delivery of a repress of Twisted, which is a studio album by Della Mitri, and I think that's going to be all that I require. We have the Langley Schools Music Project, which was quite interesting at the time. I'm trying to remember when exactly. The recordings were made between 76 and 77. The album title is Innocence and Despair. But yeah, it's a school project, some very simple arrangements, but you've got nice versions of Space Oddity, and Desperado is really good on this. But you've got Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft. I haven't listened to this a long time. It's not really something that you put on and listen from start to finish. Then we have the Be Good Tanyas. A friend of mine says, yeah, there's only really one good Be Good Tanyas one, and I think that's the one that has a sleeve featuring a locomotive. So my friend says, yeah, you've only got one Be Good Tanya's album in the collection and you've got the wrong one. So this one is going. Then jazz artist Cassandra Wilson, and this is called Sings Standards. Cassandra Wilson sings standards. And yeah, nice version of Baubles, Bangles and Beads and Body and Soul. But yeah, don't listen to this that often, so it's going. So is this one? I think everybody knows Sex on Fire. I really like the debut album, and I've got that, and I've got the one after that, and then I got the one after that. But yeah, don't really listen to this. I think the front cover is a bit creepy looking. Maybe that's why I don't like it. So I think maybe one of the reasons this doesn't get played that often is that my current car just doesn't have a CD player, so this doesn't get a chance to be played. Coldplay's X and Y. I've got two other Coldplay albums, Parachutes and the other one. Then Coldplay, it became uncool to own and play Coldplay. But yeah, this was a Mercury Prize Album of the Year. I don't know who was the winner or a nominee, but Coldplay's X and Y is going. And then, yeah, Wilco Schmilko. I've got Being There on CD, and yeah, the Yankee Hotel Foxtrot or Yankee Foxtrot Hotel. I never remember which way around it is, but might try and pick that one up. But yeah, this got a reasonable review. Again, I don't like the cover much, so this is going. So artwork is important to me. You can see in the background my David Bowie portrait is coming along, so you'll see more of that maybe in a future video. And then really love this album, but I have it on one of these 5 classic albums, so I don't really need to keep this, and somebody might enjoy it. And then I'm a huge Ry Cooder fan, but this one never gets played. So I think it was mainly instrumental. So yeah, lots of slide guitar, bluesy guitar, but it's more sort of background music for some, well, it was soundtrack, wasn't it? Yeah, it's more something that you would have and somebody speaking about the blues over the top of the actual music. And then I got this from a friend. He was moving house and divesting quite a few CDs, so I picked up a few. And yeah, this has been in the collection for probably about 10 years now. Never gets played, so why keep it? U2, Pop. Was this the beginning of the end? I quite liked, what was it? Miami was really good. And I think Discotheque. And it was quite a change from the U2 that came before this. So yeah, it was played quite a lot at the time, but I think again should have done research on when this actually came out. 1997. So yeah, Wake Up Dead Man. Yeah, there's maybe about 2 or 3 tracks on this, but not sufficient quality in the whole album for me to listen to. I think this album was a disappointment, and not long after I acquired it. I do have Laura Marling's sort of first album and love it, and it's in the collection and I'm keeping it. So yeah, this one, I'm not sure if it was the second or third release. After that first album, I find that every track on Laura Marling's albums sound exactly the same. There's just not enough variety to hold my attention. So, yeah, it looks quite satanic. Yeah, a creature I don't know. Must have been a dark side of her output. Badly drawn boy. there's a theme here. I loved Hour of the Bewilder Beast. I have that on CD, and I think because of the interesting artwork again, I might like to get that on vinyl. But this is the follow-up. Have You Fed the Fish? And yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you the name of one track on here. 40 Days, 40 Fights, Bedside Story, Coming Into Land, Have You Fed the Fish? Again, this one doesn't get played at all, therefore why should it be kept? So it's going. Some more CDs, and these I think are going on the naughty step, or they're maybe getting a reprieve until I reach that 1111, but picked up Dire Straits. This is CDs, the studio album 78 in 1991. And yeah, we did have, I've got Dire Straits best of on vinyl. We've also got this one here, Making Movies, on vinyl. Everybody But Me had that one on CD, Brothers in Arms. So yeah, this is getting a reprieve for the time being. But since I bought it, it maybe feels that, yeah, Dire Straits are no longer relevant. Did he just say that? And again, because I don't have the CD player in the car, it doesn't get played very often. So I maybe need to stream each of these albums. And then I've got, this is another one that my friend gave away when he was moving house. So this is Soundgarden's Down on the Upside. And I do have another Soundgarden, Super Unknown, which has got Black Hole Sun on it, which is fabulous. It's a really good version of Black Hole Sun on Rock Swings by Paul Anka from, I think, around 1990 or in the 1990s. And he does a swing version of Black Hole Sun. But yeah, Super Unknown is staying. Down on the Upside is going. Now, I do have an album by this band, Crowded House, on cassette, the Woodface one. So it'll be staying, might even get that on vinyl. But this one, Together Alone, yeah, not really doing it for me any longer. So that one is being divested. And then I've got another couple of CD sets that I'll show, but let's go back to some vinyl. And these ones are going. So this is Billy Eckstine and Sarah Vaughan. I love Sarah Vaughan's voice. I picked this up, I think, at some sort of charity fair sort of thing. And yeah, there's probably too much violin, too much string on the back of this, too ballady, not jazzy enough. So that's going. This was a lockdown purchase. I think this was actually delivered to my house by the vendor. Not posted, but delivered. Billy F. Gibbons, The Big Bad Blues. Yeah, if you've got the classic ZZ Top, do you need this? So never quite got into it. And then another one that I thought I would like, but I think I need to go after the Down by the Jetty or some of the actual Dr. Feelgood studio albums. So I think this is it's a compilation. Some great songs on this. Rock Set, Back in the Night, Milk and Alcohol, Down by the Jetty, Blues, etc. But yeah, there's a slight hesitation there. But yeah, I think I'd rather have the original Dr. Feelgood. I have got Dr. Feelgood's casebook, which has got a lot of, well, we'll have those 3-4 songs that I just mentioned on it anyway. So this one is Falling Apart, Highlight on Rock and Roll. Some great songs on there. Little Richard's Good Golly Miss Molly, Del Shannon's Hats Off to Larry, Surfari's Wipeout. And I think I probably got this for Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs, Woolly Bully. I said the sleeve was coming apart, so probably needs re-glued. But part of the reason for that will be that there's another album in there, and that's all that remains of the sleeve. So it was a K-Tel sort of rock and roll compilation. And yeah, the reason I bought this and this double album on K-Tel was the number of great tracks on it. And you remember that Rockfile 3 book that I showed in the last video? It had, as well as 100 albums you should own, it had 100 singles that you should own. So yeah, this one that had like a Wurlitzer cover to it had some great stuff on it. Come On Everybody, Hold Me by PJ Proby, Dwayne Eddy's Rebel Rouser, and yeah, guilty pleasure one, Oh Carol from Neil Sedaka, Only 16, Sam Cooke. And then I think they must have run out of rock and roll songs that they had a license for, and then went into sort of 60s stuff, such as Sitting on the Fence with Sitting on the Fence, which is a Jagger Richard composition by a band called Twice as Much. And then Ichiku Park by the Small Faces, and Hello Susie by Amen Corner. So that's on a double album, together with Don't Ever Change by the Crickets, Walk Don't Run by the Ventures, The Night Has 1,000 Eyes. So yeah, very strange combination there. Creedence Clearwater Revival live at Woodstock. Great songs on this. Quite a nice gatefold as well. Susie Q, Proud Mary, Green River, I Put a Spell on You. All great songs. I don't think the sound quality on this is great. So that's one of the reasons it's going. Some people will be shouting at the screen now. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by the Eurythmics. Slight damage to the cover here. I think this is one I got from my sister-in-law. I have Eurythmics Greatest Hits. Controversy here. I think that's all I need. And then finally, the same people that did that spotlight on rock and roll did or highlight on rock and roll did a highlight on the swinging 60s. And again, I think I picked that up because it had the Kingsmen doing Louie Louie or Louie Louie. And it had also had With a Girl Like You by the Trogs, Mel and Tim, Backfield in Motion, Chiffon's Sweet Talking Guy, and Mary Wells' My Guy, Tremolo's Here Comes My Baby. The cover art's not up to much. Art department, yeah, somebody's doing a sort of colour pencil drawing there with, is that the Ronettes? Or the Chiffons, maybe? And is that Jan and Dean? And no idea who this is. But original artists. So this collection is going probably to a charity shop because I think I'd be too embarrassed to take this into to trade or get some store credit at a friendly record shop in Aberdeen. And yeah, was told to come back to some of those records that I showed at the beginning, but I've got the Black Box of Jazz. Now, there's some very interesting stuff on here. Well, lots of great jazz artists, such as Charlie Mingus, Stephen Graffelli, Dave Brubeck. There's Errol Hines, Wynton Marsalis, Dexter Gordon, Take the A Train by Lionel Hampton, Take 5 by Dave Brubeck's on here. And yeah, what I think I found with this lot was there were some really great jazz standards. But I think I mentioned Take 5 by Dave Brubeck, which is a great track. But I think some of the great standard jazz pieces were done by the wrong artists. So, yeah. So don't really listen to this. This has been gathering dust for a while, so it'll go to a charity shop. And then I tried, it's maybe less is more, or 10 CDs of jazz recordings by Andre Previn is maybe 9 CDs too many. But yeah, he does April in Paris and Talicia's March. Thank Heaven for Little Girls. Gigi. There's G Officer Krupke, which is my least favorite song from West Side Story. Yeah, it's there for comic relief, but yeah. So yeah, this doesn't quite float my boat. It was a present, but yeah, somebody knew I liked jazz, but yeah, this doesn't cut the mark for me. So that's going. So back to AC/DC. Back to the wonderful Jam and the equally wonderful, incredible string band. And who doesn't love a bit of Rod Stewart? So you will be relieved to know that none of those records are leaving the collection per se, because I'm going to cheat. Because all those albums shows my wife has wonderful taste. So they're actually my wife's albums. So although they'll be staying in the house, push comes to shove, and I need to make space for that, next album to be in the 1111. Then I'm just going to take these titles off the official collections list. And yeah, my wife's collection will be a separate collection. I'm not sure if I'll catalog that under a different username on Discogs or what. But yeah, crisis, what crisis? Keep on buying, keep crate digging, do the occasional purge as per Dale's advice. Thank you, Gatefold33. You're always willing to help. So some good advice there. Great advice from Rob Walker and Pete from Sounds from the West Coast to say, yeah, just buy music that you enjoy. So, and don't get rid of things out of guilt. Lack of space on the shelves, yeah, might come into it. So, yeah. But the one in, one out thing, especially with the storage space for CDs, yeah, that might work. So I'll be back for another video in the not too distant future. And I hope all of you who were worried about me worrying about my mortality and what would happen to the record collection once I'm gone, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that because I won't be here. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed that video. See you again soon. Bye.